Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I'm Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is not at all suspicious chili dog vending machine, Dan Ryan.
It's really weird. It's very... Anyway.
All aboard the SAG Cartoon Express. Dan and I will be discussing the quote-unquote classic Sonic the Hedgehog episode, No Brainer. Wait! Wasn't Dean supposed to be here? Keep wishing for that paperweight you've always wanted because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now. Hi everyone, this is episode 512. It's the week of May 3rd, 2024, and for anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I talk every week about what's happening in the world of video games from a retro gamer's perspective, as well as whatever the heck else is going on in our lives. Dan, how the bloody heck are you? Bloody, I say.
Yeah.
Viciously bloody.
Accurate. Very tired. It's been a long week, Kris. It's just been a long week. I had to... So, Monday was fine. I watched the second half of the AEW Dynasty, I'm not sure which way you pronounce it, pay-per-view. And it had just one of the very best professional wrestling matches that I have ever seen in my entire life. It was Bryan Danielson against Will Ospreay, which he has an Assassin's Creed tattoo, so that makes it relevant to the video game podcast. It was
wrestling
absurd.
Video games exist. You don't need any more pretense than that.
No, I know, but there might be people who are new here who are like, "Why are you talking about wrestling?" This is why. Because he has a video game tattoo. It was absurd. It was such a good match. It was such a good pay-per-view overall, but I couldn't watch all of it on Sunday night because I'm an adult and I have a job that I had to go to, and their pay-per-views normally go until midnight, and that is just, nope. I am in bed by like 10:30 because I suck. So watched the second half on Monday. But then about halfway through the day, I got a text from my aunt. She was like, "I need you to call me." I was like, "That's never a good sign." Like, if it's like something I got to do that I probably didn't want to do, but like have to do, it's usually preceded by the "I need you to call me." So I call her, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And like, all of this is leading up to me feeling like a dick in a minute, because she was like, your great aunt Alice, my great aunt Alice is 82 years old. She was like, she is in incredible amounts of pain. I need you to not go to work on Tuesday and drive an hour and a half down to Barnegat, and take her to the doctor. I was like, I mean, okay, that's cool. I guess I'm the one who can take off of work. It's like, you could take a day off of work too. Okay, that's fine. I'll drive. You're closer. I'll drive. It's fine. But it doesn't matter. None of this matters. It's okay.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
None of this matters. So I drive down. And as I'm driving down, I was like, let me take this opportunity as I'm leaving. I will be passing the newly opened Raising Cane's on the way to my Aunt Alice's house. And
question: What is that?
I was just going to say I'm going to get some chicken tenders. Raising Cane's is a I believe mostly southern. I don't know that they've gone west yet, but it is a southern chicken establishment that serves chicken tenders and French fries and like Texas toast. And they have caniac sauce, because if you like Raising Cane's, you're a caniac. And I don't know. I pulled up to the drive-thru, and it's my
It's
first
like a
experience
Swiftie, but
raising
for chicken.
Yeah, pull up at the drive-thru, and usually I'm used to New Jersey drive-thrus, right? Where you pull up at the drive-thru, and they're like, "Fuck you want?" I'm like, "All right, yeah, this feels right." Tell me I'm wrong. I pull up to this drive-thru, and now keep in mind this is like 10:30 in the morning. This is a little early for chicken tenders, but whatever. I was on the way.
No such thing as too early for chicken tenders.
And I hear the radio, the click of the radio coming on. Hey, you feeling like some chicken today? It's like, fuck, I hate this already. This is annoying. What if I say no? Do you have something else? Here? Yeah.
See, they can ask that question safely because they know there is no other answer. Like, I came here for the roast beef, motherfucker.
It's just... And I didn't know how to respond. I was just, yeah, I am, I think.
Is one ever truly ready for chicken?
Well, no, if that's going to be the way it's going to be from now on, I'm going to be like, you fucking ain't right, I am. That's why I'm here, baby.
I didn't realize it required preparations. Should I leave and come back?
Give me number 6. I don't even know what that is. Just fucking put it in my face.
Holy crap, I just won $21.
Oh, dear God. Well done.
Like on a 10-cent spin. Wow. Okay.
It's not bad. Gambling is awesome. Gambling is great, and you always come out ahead. The house never wins. That's what they say, right?
It is. No,
so it's always
I've never hit something like that before. That's crazy.
No, that's awesome.
Okay,
that's
sorry,
awesome.
go on.
Anyway, so
were you in fact ready, and what are the consequences if you weren't?
We didn't find out. I was in fact ready. I got my chicken tendies and a sweet tea, and it was fine. It was good. It wasn't like I didn't see like Jesus's eyes or anything. I just it was good. It was good. It's not Zaxby's, Kris. That's really what it comes down to.
I don't know what that is either. I think you're making all this shit up.
I'm really not. Zaxby's is a different Southern chicken place.
Zaxby's is a Futurama character, and you can't convince me otherwise.
That's potentially true. When I lived in Florida, we had a Zaxby's, and I fucking loved Zaxby's. It was so good. And
how do you spell that?
ZAXBY''S.
That sounds really science fiction-y.
No, no, you are correct. It does sound science fiction-y. But it is indeed a real place that has just absolutely delicious chicken and wings, and their Zaxby's sauce is really good. And the Raising Cane's is very similar to Zaxby's. Zaxby's is so good though that like there's one where my father-in-law lives in Virginia, and when we last visited Rick, we were down at Rick Alyssa's house. We were like, fuck, we're going to Zaxby's. That's awesome. And as we pulled up to Zaxby's, there was a bunch of tape on one of the windows because the previous night there had been some shooting that had gone on, and they needed to tape the windows up so that they didn't crumble on patrons. And Tiff and I, with our children, were like, fuck it, it's worth the risk. We're going in. We went in and sat down and ate at the Zaxby's. That was the previous night, the scene of a gunfight. That's how good Zaxby's is. So anyway, I have my chicken.
So you go to this other place, and they're like, are you ready for some chicken? And you're like, I don't know. Is this worth shooting a man for? Because if not, then I'm fucking leaving. I'm going to Zaxby's.
Then I'm out. I'm driving the 12 hours to Zaxby's, you fucker. Because they closed all the PDQs around here, and now I'm upset.
What's a PDQ?
Oh, there's another chicken place. I like chicken places,
How
Kris.
many chicken places? Look, I don't eat fast food like ever, so I don't... I didn't realize that you have now listed 3 separate chicken places that I have never even heard of.
That's fair. That's you're not a man of culture like I am. No, PDQ was like, I don't know, it's just another fucking chicken place. It's like that really good salad. Anyway, they closed.
Was it chicken salad or just salad?
No, it was salad with like, it wasn't chicken salad, but it was salad with chicken. El salad con pollo. It wasn't.
I don't know why that's funnier. It's just funnier in Spanish.
I don't know. It really is. So I'm driving. I'm making my way out to fucking Barnegat, which, like, I live near Philadelphia. Barnegat is at the seashore. That's the opposite side of the state. Like, New Jersey's not a very wide state, but it's still the opposite fuck side of it. So I'm driving down there. You know, I've got my fucking tendies in one hand, and I'm driving, and I get a text. I'm like, all right, oh fuck, it's from Aunt Alice. And I look at the text. Pain is too much. Have to go to hospital. Oh fuck, now I got to drive faster. All right, so I'm driving down there, and now I feel bad because I stopped for fucking chicken tenders. And I'm driving down, and my 82-year-old great aunt is like, I'm in a lot of pain. We have to go to the emergency room now, not my regular doctor. Like, god damn it. Now I feel like a fucking dickhead for eating these chicken tenders. They're pretty good, though. Did you not
get any for her?
No! It would have been close. She hasn't fucking never even crossed my mind. I was trying to fucking come up with something here right now. Never even thought to ask if she would be interested. Just good. I knew she wouldn't be. Honestly, she's like, that is just not something she would ever eat. Be like, hey, Aunt Alice, I picked up some fast food chicken tenders on the way down. She would have punched me in the dick. Like, get that the fuck out of here.
They got the
What's wrong
kids.
with you?
Chicken is the cure for what ails you.
That's right. That's what I've heard.
You're gonna go to the ER and they're gonna prescribe you chicken. I just saved you a fucking step.
What's wrong with you? I'm leg disabled. Chicken. Just fucking eat a bunch of it. It's awesome. So I'm driving down there to I have to get her to the hospital. It's actually like, it's fucking serious. Like, she did not let on how much pain she was in. But I get there, and the first thing she does is she hands me money. And I'm like, Aunt Alice, I don't want you. She goes, stop it. You're going to make me mad. And I went, all right, I'm sorry. You're right, ma'am. Let's get in the car. Let's go. I'm like, you don't have to fucking pay. I love you. You're my family. You don't have to pay me to come take you to the doctor. Whatever. We get to the hospital, and she's fucking, like, at this point, she's legit screaming in pain. She's like every time she has to get up or get down. And what's amazing about my Aunt Alice, I love this woman to itty bitty pieces. She is such a fabulous, fabulous human being. So when I say this with just nothing but an outpouring of love. She speaks in a tone and a cadence that is similar to Teddy from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay.
And to hear that tone and cadence coming out of an 82-year-old woman is it's fucking hilarious. It's hard. It's just great. I love everything about it. But she's yelling, and it sounds like fucking Teddy when he's yelling on Bob's Burgers. I think this makes me a bad person because I'm chuckling on the inside. Short story long, we're sitting there, we're in the emergency room, and like, it's Barnegat. There's a lot of other old people at the fucking emergency room because it's Barnegat. Like, that's who lives there. It's like blue collar workers or old retired people. And it turns out she has fucking shingles. Like, what? Ugh. Yeah. It's 82 years old. She's got shingles. Because the doctor's like looking her over, and he's like, pressing on her belly and whatever, because she thought she had like kidney stones or something. So he's pressing on her abdomen, and she's like, oh no, it's just the pain it's down here on my left side. And he sits her up and he looks at her and he goes, well, it's because you got shingles. And he calls me over and he's like, look at this. I'm like, yeah? He goes, those are shingles. Okay, fucking give her something. What do you want from me? I was supposed to know.
Ride. I'm here for the chicken, all right?
Fucking no. It was just so matter of factly, like he was disappointed that I didn't diagnose it before we got there. You see those? Like, look, doc, fuck off.
Couldn't pick shingles out of a lineup.
I couldn't. I didn't know. So, yeah. That was my Tuesday. Like, God damn it. This week is taking a fucking turn already. It started off with a really good pay-per-view, and now I'm in Barnegat for some reason eating delicious chicken with my shingles-ridden great aunt.
Shingles-ridden. My roof is shingles-ridden.
Oh, man, it fucking better be. And then, God, I don't even remember what the hell happened Wednesday was watching more wrestling. And then Thursday night was the NFL draft. And then, is today Friday? Fuck.
Today is indeed Friday.
I'm so tired. Played a little bit of Dave the Diver. I will talk about that in a minute, I guess. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's how I'm doing.
That's cool.
That's a week, man. It was interesting.
Yeah, your week definitely had more shingles than mine.
Man, so I really hope that, like, I would advise all of you, like, honestly, truly, this is no longer, like, making fun. If you have elderly people in your lives that have or have not, it doesn't matter, have had or had not had chicken pox, please tell them to get the shingles vaccine. There's a vaccine you can get for it, apparently. And I was like, Aunt Alice, why didn't you get the vaccine? She went, I didn't know there was a vaccine. Okay, that's a good reason not to get it. Look fucking awful. Like, I'm going to get it, but I can't get it yet because, like, I'm not 50. I think you have to be over 50 to get the fucking shingles vaccine.
Son of a bitch, that's ageist.
Yeah, right? It's ageist. It's ableist. It's a couple other things.
Tell me how to live my life.
That's right. I'll get vaccinated when I want to, you fucking They're anti-vax. They're fucking vaccinating people are anti-vax, and that disappoints me. They're walking conundrums, Kris.
They're anti-me getting vaxxed.
That's right. Them and Aaron Rodgers.
Bunch of assholes.
Bunch of assholes. Oh, goodness.
Well, speaking of illness, last we spoke on the show, I was preparing to wake up early in the morning to wait in line for record store day. And I did. I woke up early, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and head over to the mall. I'm going to wait in line for the 4 hours, right? The doors open at 6 for the mall, and then the actual store opens at 9. So I'm going to get there at 5, and I'm going to, like, just scope the area out when I get there at 5, see what's going on, probably be hopefully first in line. Like, there can't be that many more people that are that crazier than me when I get there at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I get there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I spot a couple of tents outside of the mall. And I'm like, oh, so people have spent the night. Okay.
For what? I mean, I guess there were a couple live records that... Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All I know is that the record that I wanted, there was only one copy of. So I was like, all right, well, let's see. Let me investigate. Let me park the car and go walk up. And I did, but there wasn't anybody in the tents, but there were people in the mall. They opened the doors early. So I walk inside, and there's already like at least 15 people lined up outside of the store. At 5 o'clock in the morning, at least 15 people lined up. Okay. I guess this is how it is. I'm going to ask every one of these people if they're here for that Collective Soul album, because if they are, then I'm going to go the fuck home and ask somebody else somewhere else to get it for me and hope that it works out. But nobody else was there for it. In fact, several people had no idea what I was talking about, because young people don't know who Collective Soul is, and I'm fine with that.
That's because the only copy they got was for you. You could have gotten there an hour and a half after opening. And they were like, Chris, we have it. It's here. You don't even have to ask. We got it for you.
So I as I was leaving the house, I was like, I'm not going to bring a chair. I think it's going to be okay. I'm not going to bring the Switch. I'm not going to bring the chair. I'm just going to bring my phone and my headphones. And there's just going to be people to talk to in line, and it's going to be fun. And that's what it's going to be. And then I got there, and I talked to some folks in line for almost an hour. And then I was like, wait, there's still several hours to go.
There's still a significant portion of time, and I have run out of conversation topics with these complete fuck strangers. Shocking.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to watch a movie, I guess, because I've got a movie's worth of time and change. So let's scroll through the old Plex and see what I can load up on my phone. And I decided, I'm going to watch this Flash movie that Dan keeps telling me I need to watch. So I look around and I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to lay here on the floor, watch it, because I have absolutely no padding or anything like that. Just I've got my hoodie, but it's also freezing cold in the mall because where I landed in line was in front of this shop, these glass doors that had this just blasting cold air coming out of them. Wonderful. So I'm laying on the dirty ass floor of the mall watching The Flash, freezing my ass off. And then I spent the rest of the week sick as a dog, and I can't imagine why.
And what did you think of The Flash? Because now remember, I did not say it was a good movie. I did say you should watch it.
I disagree with your assessment. I think I would have been better off had I not watched it. I don't know what I would have watched instead, because I didn't want to watch anything I really wanted to see. As
sure.
I'm going to watch this for the first time on the floor of the mall on my phone.
I've heard a lot of good things about The Godfather. I'm going to watch The Godfather for the first time, sitting on my ass, waiting for a Collective Soul record. That'll be a fun story.
Oh, bad times. Bad times indeed. Also, speaking of bad times, I'm sorry the whatever that other team is just tied up the Yankee game.
Oh, the Milwaukee Brewers?
Is that who they are?
Yes.
I got an option to go. I got a free ticket to a Phillies game for a kid. And they're you can get a discount on another one, and it's in June, and it's against that team. I don't know.
Against the Brewers? I like the Brewers.
Yeah. I might take a kid to go see a game. I've been watching a few Phillies games. I've been, doing my due diligence. I like baseball. I just like watching baseball.
The best.
A bunch of my friends are Phillies fans, and my grandfather was a Phillies fan. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be one of those guys, but I'll root for the home team, I guess. Let's why not? Let's do it.
Take me out to the ball game. Root for the home team, like the song says. I don't hate the Phillies.
It was so cute.
Despise Philadelphia sports teams.
I know you do.
I hope the Eagles all die in a fire. The Sixers. Joel Embiid is the biggest punk-ass bitch that has ever played basketball. He's the dirtiest fucking player in the game, but he gets away with it because people like him because he can fuck Joel Embiid. He's a douchebag, and the Flyers are indeed a hockey team.
Yeah, they are.
But the Phillies...
they had an 8-game losing streak this season. They'd be in the playoffs right now if not for that 8-game losing streak.
If not for those damn meddling kids. I can fuck with the Phillies though. They had Pete Rose at a time. I like Mike Schmidt's mustache. Yeah,
it's good times.
Yeah,
it was actually real cute because I've been talking about since the Flyers lost, their last game, their last attempt to get into the playoffs. Like, they turned it around. It was a real good game. Like, yeah, I couldn't be mad at them for that game. Like, they just got outplayed. It was a real good game. Both teams. You can't say they didn't go down swinging. And I got high hopes for them next season because
maybe that's why they lost. Though you don't do a lot of swinging in hockey. They should have been shooting. That's
you do
fundamental problem. That
you do a lot of swinging. The goal is to not get caught. What the hell was I saying?
No.
So, like, you know, I was a little bummed at that, but like, I just like watching hockey, and then I was like, you know, since I have an avenue to watch sports, I'm gonna, you know, I'll just try and pay attention to some baseball games, and you know, if the Yankees are playing, I'll watch them because that's Karen's team, and if the Phillies are playing, I'll watch them, and then it turns out that they're both usually playing at the same time, so I've been watching a lot more Phillies than Yankees. But Ellie's been like really rooting for the Phillies. I think because like her teachers and stuff are all Phillies fans. Yeah. And she brought home like a Phillies history book from the school library for me one day this week. Because I was feeling real sick that morning. So she went to the friggin' school library and was like, I got this for you. I hope it makes you feel better. It's like, you are so sweet. Thank you.
What a good kid.
Yeah. It was very sweet. But there was like some
John
reading
came
thing.
in and shit on the floor. He came in.
John came in, ignored everybody, went to his room, and watched YouTube videos about Pokemon.
That's really like that's genuinely awesome.
Yeah.
Did you read the book?
I read some of it so far.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
It's just, you know, it's all this Phillies history, and okay, it's kind of neat, kind of interesting.
That's cool.
But
talking about Connie Mack and shit when they were the Philadelphia Athletic. Anyway,
they won this. Like they didn't win. It's like John from participating in some reading thing at school. He got a free ticket to see a Phillies game, and he has absolutely no interest in going to watch a baseball game. But like I was cleaning up today, and I found that little ticket thing. And Ellie was like, the two of us should go to a baseball game. And I'm like, what, you and John? She's like, no, me and you. Really? Okay. She's like, John, we should go to a Phillies game. Oh, okay. Like, I thought she meant like me and Karen should take her and John to a Phillies game. And I'm like, no, that's unfortunately baseball's for rich people now.
It's certainly not as affordable as it used to be.
No, it's really not. Really not.
The minor leagues still are.
Yeah,
are the AC Surf still playing?
I want to say yes. Called?
I've been to that stadium a couple times. Like, it's a really good stadium to watch a baseball game.
Yeah, we went to like 2 years ago. I think we went to one. Oh, and it was a lot of fun. But one ticket, and you can get a discount for an adult ticket to go with this kid's ticket that they won for free. So it's like, all right, I could we could swing one discounted adult ticket and like a free kids ticket and take Ellie to a baseball game. I don't know if she'd sit through the whole thing, but with this pitching clock, the games sure go a hell of a lot faster. She might have fun.
2 hours, so hours. You get a fucking hot dog.
Yeah,
you get ice cream in a helmet.
Yeah, exactly. Like the little things like that. She'd probably be that could probably space that out enough where she would be really excited. Yeah. You know, for the next thing, and I wouldn't have to buy a ton of it because like John has no interest in going. He was like, "Yeah, you guys can have that ticket." Like we didn't even ask. He was just like, "Yeah, you guys can have that if you want it." Like, okay, didn't imagine for a second that you would want to go to a baseball game. So I'm thinking about it. The game's sometime in June that the ticket's available for, and I think she'd have to miss a day of school, but you know that's okay.
Even better.
She's barely missed any days of school. I kept her home for take your kid to work day.
Nice.
That was fun. She stayed down here and she helped me edit the Theater Near You and do some social media posts for Stone Age Gamer. She picked the Throwback Thursday image that I posted. It was a fun day.
Tiff took the girls to the vet's office and made them like scrub rooms and like clean blood off the tiles. That's awesome. You put those kids to work.
You're going to come in. You're going to miss school.
None of this
You're going to come in and
bullshit.
perform open heart surgery.
That's right, you fuckers. This dog has a blown meniscus. We got to repair it. Katie, Penny, get in here.
Get
None
to
of
work.
us know how to do it.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. Which they also don't know how to do because they refuse to learn. Bunch of assholes. Come on, girls. I really want to teach you how to ride a bike. No. Because then you don't have to drive us places. I'm like, that's the fucking flaw in my plan. You guys have seen right through it.
Figured it out. So anyway, I spent most of this week sick as a fucking dog. So like the launch day of Dadish 3D was really anticlimactic for me because
because you were dead.
I mean, I downloaded it straight away and I just started playing it. I was like, I think it's pretty good. I want to be dead right now. I want to be dead.
Isn't that the worst when you're like super excited for something, but then you're also sick at the same time?
Yeah,
it's like, God damn it. I'm so looking forward to this, and now I can't be.
Now I can barely enjoy it. Well, I've since turned around on it, but before that happened, though, last week over the weekend, I was just kind of looking for something to play, and I don't know what struck me to do it, but I wound up playing through Cave Story. I have not played through Cave Story in years.
Yeah,
because that was like the original indie darling, you know, like that was one of the first ones that really made a mark, and I fucking loved that game, and I was ever so slightly afraid that I wasn't going to love it as much anymore, and that was not a problem for me in the least. Like,
no, it's so
I
good.
picked it up and just immediately like, yeah, this is still fantastic. This is still absolutely wonderful. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I made it through the whole game, and John was really into it too. Like that was really exciting to me. He came down and saw me playing it, and immediately was like, "Ooh, what's this?" I was like, "Oh, this is Cave Story. This is one of my favorite games ever." And he was like, "Well, how come I've never seen you play it before?" I was like, "Because there's a lot of games, buddy."
Because I don't share everything with you.
I don't play every game I love every year. There's just too damn many of them, and this is one that I haven't touched in a while. And he was really into it. He was really enjoying watching me play it, and he wound up playing it himself.
That's awesome.
Which was really interesting that he did, because like, all right, buddy, this game's pretty tough. But he put it on easy. He put it on easy mode, and he got through like the first two bosses pretty well. It's like, all right, good for you, man. Good for you having a good time with this. Yeah. So I made it all the way through that one. I didn't beat the last boss, and I didn't get the good ending or anything. I kept the machine gun, and I didn't save Professor Booster, or I didn't upgrade the Polar Star. I just went for the just easy blow through the game as quick as I could, kind of a thing, while waiting for Dadish 3D, and I just had a really good time with it. I friggin' love that game. It's so good.
It's such a good game, and one of those things really where I feel like it should be an evergreen release. You know, like it should just kind of like, and you can buy Cave Story again.
So far, so good. It's been that way ever since. Like, it was on Wii, and now it's on DSiWare, and now it's on 3DS, and now it's on Wii U, and now they just keep re-releasing it, and that's fine by me. I did, after playing it the first night, when I was putting Ellie to bed, while I was waiting for her to get ready, I booted up Cave Story 3D on my 3DS. Because I hadn't played that one in even longer, and I still don't love it. It's just something...
I like it. I don't love it.
Exactly. Yeah. I like it, but I don't love it. Like, I still prefer the regular style of it. I think a lot of it has to do with just how dark it is. Because like it's a really neat reimagining of the visuals of it as like 3D polygons and stuff, but it's so dark on that little teeny tiny screen, it can be kind of hard to see. So I think that's really what my issue with it winds up being more than not. And as much as I like the music, I really like the Cave Story Wii /Plus music is my favorite iteration of the Cave Story soundtrack. Yeah, which is, I believe that's what's on Switch now. That's like kind of considered the standard now, and it's like, it's so good. I don't know when they added a 2-player mode to it though.
Did they? I did not know that they had a two-player
there's
mode.
an option for like a drop-in, drop-out two-player mode on the Switch. I haven't tried it because nobody really wanted to try it with me, and I didn't solicit it. It was just like, I just kind of wanted to play by myself, but I was like, well, this is new. I don't remember there being a two-player co-op mode in Cave Story. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I'll try that one of these days.
It sounds like fun or incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, or some combination of the two.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that, and then Dadish 3D. Once I started getting a little bit better, I put a little bit more time in. And Dadish 3D is a very interesting animal because it is quite literally what's on the tin. It is Dadish in 3D, and it definitely suffers from the problems that came from early 3D games, or like people like, this is your first 3D game, and I can tell. Like, it's real hard to tell where you are in 3D space. Or more importantly, it's really hard to tell where other things are in 3D space. Like
which
your
for
shadow,
a platformer is not necessarily what you want.
No, it's really not. Now, granted, he made all of the like hitboxes and things very, very generous. So like when you're jumping from point A to point B.
I've been watching those YouTube videos about Dadish 3D hitboxes.
No, that was Dadish 3. He was playing Dadish 3 and just dropping all this YouTuber lingo, and I was like, you have no idea what you're saying. You have absolutely like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, this is fucking
bunch
obnoxious.
Of fixed hitbox bullshit.
Fucking lunatic. Oh god. But yeah, so like a lot of the platforming stuff is pretty generous, but it also is still very easy to die very frustrating deaths because it's like I thought I was grabbing the key, but I can't tell where it is. I can see it on the screen, but the key doesn't have a shadow, so I have no idea where the fuck it is.
Oh, that's fucking not
or
okay.
Like, you know, because like Dadish, his shadow is directly underneath him, like you would want in most 3D things, so you can tell where they are. But the shadows of other things are naturally created wherever the light source is hitting it. So like if the light source in the level is the sun, then like the shadow for the key is like 3 feet to the left of where the key is. Like, okay, but I can't see where the key is now floating in 3D space because the shadow is like a natural shadow or whatever. It's like,
that's frustrating.
It is frustrating. However, it's still very fun. It's well designed. I'm most of the way through it because it's not very long. The music is great. The comedy is exactly as hilarious as it always is. Like the weird shit your kids say is always fucking hilarious. The bosses are wonderful. Like the first boss was Subwoofer, who was a meatball sub. Like a meatball sub / dog.
Yeah, it's great.
Just that's fantastic. Awesome. Yeah, I'm loving it. I still really prefer the 2D Dadish games, but this is a really fun experiment, and he did a good job with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, played a little bit more of the Turnip Boy game, not much, just because I'm really focused on Dadish. But I think I'm going to try and finish that one. One of my friends / listeners, Brian, messaged me and said that Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion is hilarious. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank is a better game, but not as funny. So,
okay.
I guess we'll see if whatever the third Turnip Boy game is, they wind up getting the hitting that balance. But yeah, the first one is quite funny. And the only other game I really want to talk about is that John had me. He really wanted me to start my own game of Pokemon Scarlet. Okay. Now, I know that we had, just from watching videos or seeing things, I was under the impression that there was a general overreaction to how the technical flaws in the Pokemon game were. Like, yeah, people are just being too hard on this.
The internet is just being the internet.
Yeah, having played the game, I mean, yes, it was overblown a bit, but that game's a fucking mess. Like, oh my god, that game really barely functions on a lot of levels. Like, I'm moving around, I'm like, man, this really doesn't look good. Like, this really does look a generation behind as far as visuals are concerned. Like, this is messy. Like, the textures are real noticeable. And if I'm noticing the textures being bad, like, something's seriously wrong. Because that's not really a thing that I pay. I just got done playing Dadish 3D, which looks like a PS1 game. And this game is just like, wow. Like, I'm walking by and there's like a tree or like a big hill or something. There's a shadow being cast on the hill next to it. And I'm walking past it and like, my shadow is being cast on top of that shadow. So like there's a darker shadow on top of a shadow. And like,
that's fun.
Oh, that's not how shadows work. But also like all the shadows in general are really freaking strange and distracting because they're these like weird jittery blobs. Like they're constantly shaking and vibrating and like forming strange shapes. Like I'm in a cutscene and I'm talking to my mom. And like my mom's shadow, this hole just keeps sporadically appearing and disappearing in it. And it's like, what the hell what is happening right now?
And it doesn't matter because it's sold a bajillion D copies.
Yeah, it like, and like the gameplay itself is it's Pokemon. It's fine.
Yeah, it's rock, paper, scissors. It's fine.
Yeah. But like the game itself, like we got to do better, guys. I mean, I guess we don't really have to do better because
that's kind of the point.
Sells just fine as it is. But at the same time, I kind of feel like if they keep up at this rate, it's gonna stop selling as well because wow, this shit is busted. It is very, very buggy.
Yeah, and that's weird because like the last one, Sword and Shield, like I don't remember experiencing any of that at all.
Well, Sword and Shield wasn't quite as ambitious. Like the Scarlet and Violet, I think, were the first ones that were properly open world, following Arceus.
Okay.
So, like, they didn't really iron all the bugs out on this one. I think I think this could have used some more time in the oven, but this is the Pokemon Company, and they got to get those. You got to crank those things out. We got to have our annual Pokemon release. So
that's right.
Yeah. Anyway, before I hand things over to you. Two things. I switched over to the Phillies game. I'm watching, I don't know who they're playing. I want to say San Diego. And these have to be those weird City Connect uniforms because...
Are the Phillies wearing them?
No, the other ones are. They look like the diner from Saved by the Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Like they look like the diner from Saved by the Bell barfed all over a baseball team.
Like the teal and pink and bright and... Yeah.
I hate it, but I also kind of love it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about a lot of them. Like,
it's so unhinged.
This, but
it is so unhinged. Like, why?
Bad, though.
Why are you making grown men wear this? Like this,
grown men doing a really hard job. Like hitting a baseball professionally is really fucking hard. You don't have to look like an asshole while you're doing it.
You are almost literally making them dress as clowns. I don't think this is okay, but whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone's having a good time, it seems.
Live the dream.
But apparently, I contradicted myself during our Game Boy Advance Super NES episode, and I apologize.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, you're a prick.
Yeah.
I should have called you out on it.
I feel like I had some, I feel like the rules were changing a bit as we went along, which is why that happened. We're like, well, we're going to do this. We're not going to do that. Oh, but if we are going to do this, then maybe we should do that. But I'm not going to excuse it away. I clearly wasn't paying enough attention to what I was saying. But that was a much more complex conversation than I even thought it was going to be. Like, we put it off for a while to be able to give ourselves a little bit more time to talk about it. But even then, it was like comparing an entire library really was not an easy thing to do. So my sincerest apologies for being a fuck up.
I think in the future, I think we should revisit it. We were talking about it a little bit in the Discord chat of like actually nailing things down to specific categories. And I think that could be an interesting, like, revisitable topic in the future of, like just doing the fucking console wars shit, but like actually breaking it down, generation by generation or whatever. But we have to have some stricter guidelines.
We have to have stricter guidelines, but we also have to put a lot more work into it. Like,
Well, yeah.
That is not something that we can just kind of casually discuss because there's so many moving parts.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know,
yeah. When I say a recurring segment, I mean like next year. Like we're already planning for 2025, guys. Like this is not a thing we're starting this summer. Long-term plans, but I think that there's something there.
Yeah, it was a really good topic. I'm glad we at least attempted it. So what have you been doing?
Our way through it.
What have you been doing? What have you been up to? Sir,
really the only thing
gentlemen.
New. Oh God! Oh, well, that was so
a surprise.
Unprofessional.
That really snuck up on me there. I apologize.
Yeah, it's really not you. Like out of the two of us, that's much more of a me thing, and I don't do that either because I have fucking tact.
I ain't got no fucking standards.
I've tact. I've couth. I got riz. Whatever the fuck that is. It's charisma, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. No, the only new thing that I've played this week has been Dave the Diver, and I don't know why I'm enjoying my time with it. I can't really explain why I'm having fun doing the stuff that I'm doing, because the way the game's broken down, for those of you who don't know, it's broken down into a day-night cycle, right? And each day you can go out and you can dive in the morning for ingredients for the sushi restaurant. You can dive in the afternoon for more ingredients, and then at night it turns into a restaurant simulator, like a management sim, which is not usually a style of game that I really enjoy. It's got the fucking the voices that I hate, the garbled voice, which I just can't fucking stand. I'd rather you didn't put anything in there. But for some reason, there's a charm to it. I think it's because the main character is a fat dude. It's like, oh, I feel seen. That's great. A fat diver who really fucking loves sushi. Like, I'm not a diver, but I do really love sushi. It's just, I don't know. It's a weirdly charming game that I don't think I'm going to put a ton of time into. You know, it's not like, oh, I gotta see where this story goes. I'm so engrossed in the story. It's just the mechanic of it is so far pretty fun. I imagine there's going to hit a point where the restaurant management side of it is the part that's going to piss me off. Because, like, I got to fill orders, and I got to replace things on the menu, and I got to go pick up plates and drop plates off and clean a spot, and then, I got to change things on the menu again. And, like, that kind of stuff I'm just not super into. So, early game, while there's not so much to manage, it's still enjoyable. It's a neat little game. I'm happy that it's on the PlayStation Plus, because I think I might have been a little bummed if I had spent money on it, you know, knowing how much, like, being able to see, like, oh, there's a point in this game where I'm just going to turn it off. I hope I get my money's worth before then. Yeah, it's a weird game. Did you play it at all? Did you play the demo?
I played the demo. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, like it is. And that's really all you do so far. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see if the game changes. If there's like an Echo the Dolphin-esque, like, oh, now I'm fucking in space for some reason.
I mean, it's going to get Godzilla DLC, so.
No, I know. That's fucking great. Like, I'm certainly into that part of it. I am really excited, though, because they just also added to PlayStation Plus on, like, a day-and-date thing that Tales of Kenzera, Zhao, Prince of Persia looking Metroidvania kind of set in Africa looking thing, which looks really, really fucking dope. And I'm going to try to get into that this weekend I'm hoping that kind of hooks me, because I know a couple people have mentioned it in the Discord of like, oh, the Prince of Persia game was really good. It didn't blow me away when I played through the demo. Like, I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of felt the same way, right?
Yeah, same here.
That
it was fine. Just didn't get my socks rolled up.
Yeah, it just didn't hook me the way I thought it was going to, and I was kind of surprised by that. And Dave the Diver, the same thing. Like, I thought I would be a little bit more excited to jump into it than I am. So I'm hoping this Tales of Kenzera really like is the one that hooks me into it. It's not like I have a shortage of shit to do between the show and Pad and Snap. Like, it's not like I'm not playing anything. I'm just looking for like that console experience to kind of hook me in.
Just got trailed off there, huh? You all right there?
Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got. Let's try to. I'm really tired, Chris.
It's like, wow, I just lost touch with Planet Dan there for a second. That was wild. You just left the fucking building.
Boy? Yeah, I did for a minute. Oh man, yeah. Like I love the three like maintenance games that I play. Like, I love the show has been really good. I've really been enjoying it this year. I created my my Field of Brightmares, so my custom stadium for my Brightmares team, because I went and themed it after like the Alex Party shit, the Topps crazy monster cards that he was doing a couple years ago. So like I recreated the logo and the fucking rainbow and all that shit. Like, and I'm super happy with all of that. Built the fucking stadium and because part of the modes available in the show is a thing called mini seasons. They added it two games ago, I think. And one of the teams you play is called the Kaiju. So in the Creative Stadium thing, there are fucking monsters. Like, there are kaiju that you can just put as part of the stadium. So I was like, fuck, this is perfect. So there's like fucking spaceships and kaiju, and like it's all bright colors and it's all very garish and shit. It's just, I'm very happy with my stadium. I like it quite a bit. And they added a ton of new Yankees this year, which makes me really happy. So after playing through the Derek Jeter mode, I finally just got lucky on some packs and got Garrett Cole out of a pack. So I bought the Aaron Judge diamond and just unlocked Bernie Williams for my team. I'm like, fuck yes, I get to play with Bernie Williams. It's so great. Which is just fucking awesome. And the Negro League story mode stuff that they did this year was really awesome. They had a pretty nice little program for Jackie Robinson earlier this month. They've been doing a decent job of, keeping things kind of fresh, even though I still don't like the seasons aspect of the cards of like, I really don't want to play like all through season 1 and then like, all right, it's season 2 and now you got to just grind the same cards back up again. Like, that was really not fun last year. So I'm hoping, I don't know. We'll see when the season ends, how they do with that. And then Pad's fine. It's fine. There's a bunch of new Godfest exclusives, and I got the one that I didn't want. Makes me sad. And I'm like, for the first time in, I don't know, years, I am down to, as of this morning, I have 0 stones saved up. And it's like, it's weird looking at it because I log in and play like a dungeon or 2 a day. But I'm not seriously trucking through because there's only so much content, and I don't want to get back to that point where I'm like, all right, well, there's legit nothing. I'm not just going to farm fucking SBRs or whatever. That's just not a thing I enjoyed doing. I did get the new card for the week in Snap. It's White Widow. She's fun. She adds a Widow's Kiss to your opponent. I don't know, they killed Thanos a couple weeks ago, Chris, and now I'm sad because I like playing Thanos.
Oh, they went for the head, huh?
They did. They really fucking did. They made him, like, unfun. Which sucks. Thanos is great. I don't know. Whatever.
Thanos wasn't great in was Marvel vs. Capcom.
No. Yeah, I suppose no.
I just felt that in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I mean, he just kind of, his moveset felt kind of like an afterthought. It's a very, he was one of those characters I was like, all right, well, I mean, like, they had the Sprite, he was the boss, he was, the last boss in Marvel Superheroes, I think?
Yeah,
and, like, he was awesome as a boss character in that. Like, I remember Marvel vs. Capcom 2 unlocking Thanos and being like, oh, this isn't going to be fair. And then he was just fine. He was just fine.
Yeah, that game, there's a weird level of balancing in that game to where, like, Spider-Man can legitimately hold his own against Thanos.
Right, and like, of course, we're talking, you can play as Sakura from Street Fighter Alpha against the fucking Juggernaut. Yeah. Like, I'm not looking for realism here. I just meant, like, you know, Dr. Doom, Magneto, like, these like, great villains have awesome, interesting movesets, and Thanos is just like, all right, he's a little chonky. Doesn't really, not really hitting as hard. Yeah, he's
a little lumbering and a little slow and a little okay.
Like,
he's
Thanos
fine.
He doesn't feel as intimidating as I feel like he should, right? You know, like, I specifically think of, like, Magneto, Doom, and Sentinels, and they're just like, man, those guys look great. They really do hit. Wow, Philly's just got a home run.
But, like, Thanos is hard to balance because you have the stones and you have the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, it's the problem with Marvel Snap. Like, it's a great gimmick.
You don't have to balance him. He doesn't have to be stronger. You know, like,
no, I know.
Juggernaut just looks like he's hitting hard, and Thanos didn't really look. You know, his moves just like he's got that dorky little, like, dash move that looks a little silly with the little, you know, sparkly thing on his shoulders. Like, his moveset just didn't really strike me as, like, was brutal enough. You know, like.
Yeah. He should hit more like Balrog. Not necessarily with, like, the
boxing moves,
like, boxing moves, but that sort of like like sudden speed and impact.
Yeah, that's what I would want. I want more impact out of him. He didn't feel as impactful. Anyways, sorry, side tangent there.
No, that's okay. That's where I'm at.
All right. Well, if that's the case, if that's where we're at, then we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what's new at Stone Age Gamer and attack you boldly with week-old news. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around. And now, here's a quick look at some of the other original content available now from our partners and Geekade.com. And now here's a quick preview of what's coming up in the newest issue of Nintendo Force magazine. Issue 71 of Nintendo Force is titled Just Add Water, with the upcoming Endless Ocean Luminous featured on its cover. On its cover? It's not covered, it's not past tense. This issue's theme is all about, you guessed it, water. And for the central feature, we've put together a group of pages all about different kinds of water levels and themes in games, from the spookiest seas in games like Subnautica for Nintendo Switch, or Jaws for NES, to sources of stress, like the water levels in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, also for NES. If it's water-themed and on a Nintendo platform, we probably talked about it. Over in the review section, we've got our official verdicts on Freedom Planet 2 by Tony, Euphoria the Saga 2, and the latest Splatoon 3 DLC by our editor-in-chief Lucas, Unicorn Overlord by John Charles, who appeared in a trivia episode of this show, and a whopping 4 reviews by me for Contra Operation Galuga, Llamasoft, the Jeff Minter story, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, and Princess Peach Showtime.
That's not all, though, Chris. We've also got previews of Atari's upcoming revival Neo Sprint, mobile game turned console download, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants Unleashed, the latest from Suda51, and more. Our interview this month was with Nick Kamen. Is it Kamen or Common?
I don't know if he's Common or going, but...
Oh, boy. With Nick, good old Nick, the lead developer on another Crab's Treasure. We asked him everything from what movies and media inspired the game to Aggro Crab's first title, Going Under. I didn't do the interview. I don't even write for this magazine, but from what I've read, he seems like a pretty nice guy. I know. That's right. I'm putting it out into the universe, Chris. This month's Players Poll is all about Akira Toriyama. We want to know, what was your first exposure to the work of Akira Toriyama? What is your favorite Toriyama character design? And what would you say is Toriyama's greatest contribution to the world of video games? Send your responses to playerspoll@nfmagazine.com with the subject line, Players Poll for issue number 72. You could get your response printed in the next issue. All of this in addition to our usual character profiles, collector's corner, original comics, fold-out poster, and more will be included in issue 71 of Nintendo Force magazine.
For more info on our latest issue, how to subscribe, and more, head over to NintendoForceMagazine.com. All right, everybody, we're back. It's time to bring up a little segment I like to call "What's New at Stone Age Gamer." Well, guess what? We're going to talk about what's new at Stone Age Gamer. I figured I'm going to start keeping a running tally on this because this is a personal vendetta of mine. It is now week 3 since we've started this. This is the 3rd week of what's new at Stone Age Gamer on the podcast here, and it is now the 3rd week that we have not received Power Base Minis. They're supposed to send them to us.
They sent them all to me.
They sent them. Well, you should send them to us.
No,
I'm waiting
I'm not
on
gonna.
them. I want these things back in stock. I just want them to be there.
They're just
We've
all in my
asked for
garage.
them numerous times, and it's always like, we'll send them out with your next order. We'll send them out, and then they don't. And here we are.
They did.
Week 3.
Yep.
Anyways, we're going to start carrying the
garage is fucking lousy with them.
More important, you're just building a chair, gluing them together.
Oh yeah, I threw out my old couch. Yeah,
it's just all Power-Based Minis. It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I really I throw out 2 or 3 a day just because they're like, I can. Hasn't made a dent yet. That's so many.
Oh boy. So we are going to start carrying, probably by the time this episode goes live or shortly thereafter, we will have the Morph 4K upscaler. This is an interesting device. Let me grab a little bit more information on it, which is probably what I should have had pulled up before I started doing this. All right, so this is from the folks who did the Retro Gem. Why am I drawing a blank? This is Pixel FX. There we go. So this is kind of like Pixel FX's. Well, I believe she's in cahoots with this company.
She does everything, so it's a pretty safe bet.
This is kind of like Pixel FX's answer to the RetroTink 4K.
Yeah.
It's considerably less expensive than the RetroTink. The pictures that they sent us for it are all weirdly tinted green. It's like, you got to see them. The product page is live on the site, and it's like, this is a nice looking device, but why is everything weirdly tinted green? Like, it's very strange. This needs some color correction. But it's modular, so you can get these add-ons for it for different kinds of connections. I can't say I completely understand it. I'm going to have to kind of get my hands on it to really mess around with it. But it's an interesting device. It's an interesting alternative to the RetroTinks, which we're also, we're hopefully going to get those in once they become available. We really want to carry any number of RetroTink devices. Those things are outstanding, and Mike Chi and the RetroTink community is all very interesting, and we're super, super happy to be able to carry any of those that we can. But in the meantime, we're getting the Morph, because options are a good thing. Hooray.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The GC Battler Pro, this is neat. The Retro Fighters has was it 2 years ago? I feel like it wasn't even 2 years ago. They, not that long ago, did a couple of GameCube controllers that got mixed reviews. They were neat, but they were not quite perfect. This is kind of their updated take on a GameCube controller, the Battler GC Pro. It's got both digital and analog triggers. It's got an improved D-pad. Let's see what else was listed on here. The whole slew of improvements on this thing that some of it went over my head, to be perfectly honest with you, because, a lot of this kind of stuff goes over my head.
Sure.
But Andy pointed out much. Let's see. It works with more than just GameCube. It's got digital and analog trigger inputs. It's got the full analog triggers with the click-in digital button, just like the old GameCube controllers. It's got a custom-built C-stick. I think they're all Hall effect analog sticks. D-pad KAIH integrated switches. I don't really know what that means. It supports both 2.4 gigahertz and Bluetooth. And there's an exclusive limited edition color for pre-orders. It's pretty nifty. Retro Fighters was making spectacular controllers for a little while there.
Yeah, they do
the
good
last
shit.
couple of controllers were really good, but I didn't think they were quite up to the standards of what they were doing before. Specifically the Dreamcast one was a really weird one to me because I was very confused why that one didn't have 2 analog sticks. Not that there's very many Dreamcast games that would even support it, but the handful that did and or using it on other platforms just seemed like a really weird missed opportunity on that controller. But all in all, I'm a big fan of their stuff, and this one really looks like it's coming together quite nicely. If I do say so myself.
Yeah,
And
they
last
do.
but not
They do
least-
good
No, go
shit,
ahead.
and it's affordable, which is really nice.
I'm a big fan of affordable.
Yeah,
There's
Love
so
it.
many things that I can't afford that when things are affordable, it puts a big smile on my face. Oh boy. And last but not least, we have started carrying products from a company called XYAB. And if I remember correctly, let me look them up just to make absolutely sure. I believe they're based real close to us in Ohio. I believe this is a lot they're kind of based in America. They've got a lot of interesting stuff on their site. They're a distributor, and they've got cables and chargers and controllers, etc. And we just started dipping our toes in their products pretty recently, and we finally got some, and they're up listed on the website right now. I think there's a PS3 controller, a couple of cables, new pin connectors for Game Boy Color. Interesting stuff. Not huge, new, unheard of products or anything. It's this are your real bread and butter. If you sell retro game stuff, these are the things that you would normally you need to see in your store, and it's just going through this company because they're local and they seem like real nice folks. So XYAB products available now at Stone Age Gamer. Gotcha.
Right on.
That wraps it up. That's what's new at Stone Age Gamer this week, which brings us to everybody's favorite segment, yours and mine. It's time for Week Old News. Welcome to Week Old News, where we talk about all the news that was new a week ago. And first up, we have the story that shook the gaming industry to its core, Dan. That's
definitely.
Children crying in the streets.
Thankfully.
And about goddamn time, too. Enough of these children playing in the streets.
Took so
we need
long?
tears. No, apparently in the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered, they removed the pinups of Lara Croft that were in a locker room somewhere.
Disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Tomb Raider's woke now. Yeah, it's all it's censorship. I can't imagine. This
I can't imagine enjoying the game now.
Right. I mean, Lara Croft is they clearly they left her alone, right? So she still looks the same. She is still the
perfect
same
in every way,
obscenely shaped character, but these posters of her have been removed. The censorship on display is unforgivable. This story comes to us from Nintendo Life, which is reporting on a tweet from our very own Smash JT. Yes, Smash JT jumped on Twitter to say, I just clicked on it and now the screen went blank. There we go. No fucking way. They did it. They actually did it. Crystal Dynamics censored out the pics of Lara in the update on Tomb Raider. What the fuck? When I think about when I think about non-issues, like, I have not played the Tomb Raider games, but the low-resolution pinups of Lara Croft, like the old PS1 Lara Croft, where you don't see anything. It's just like, there's one of her on her back, and there's one of her naked with a towel over her, but, laying on her stomach, facing forward. When I think about that, when I think about the old Tomb Raider games, and I do think of them, those two posters, those two low-resolution posters above her locker in that one spot in the game, that's what I think of. That's what I think of. And I just looked it up on Google. Just typed in Tomb Raider censored, and a video a week ago. Tomb Raider gets censored again. 2 days ago, Fallout game sales up. Tomb Raider censored. 3 days ago, this Tomb Raider censorship, like capital letters, so you know they're serious, should be illegal. Well, Smash's YouTube video following his tweet, full story, because there's more to the story apparently. The YouTube video, Lara Croft pinups removed, and gamers are pissed. And of course, the replies are exactly as hinged as you would expect them to be. This is a huge problem with modern games. They can be ruined after people buy them. Off my wish list. Not for this, which is trivial, but because we don't know what else they will do. Like, pissed. If that comes from a generational gamer enough to, on Twitter. Comment. You're right. We don't know what else they're going to do. Please don't listen. Here we go. Mr. Meh says, men can't have nice things. Men just can't have nice things. Please go. Well, I guess I clicked on an article, and it is Twitter user SmashJT posted screenshots. Meanwhile, Marcy the Mario fan says, dude, it's two textures, not that big a deal. Sometimes things need to be updated for newer audiences. They can be ruined after people buy them. Another player called it turbo cringe. These people have the job of sucking whatever fun and nostalgia they can out of their supposedly fun product. It's so weird and disheartening. No. It's almost like somebody said, all right, we're cleaning up this locker scene. Do we need to track down these textures for these little pinup images? No, you really don't. Nobody cares about that. Okay, I'm not gonna. Like, I cannot imagine that in Tomb Raider, where they didn't change any of the other, like, this is Tomb Raider, this is the same, like, Lara Croft, the same thing. I can't imagine that this was some sort of, like, oh no, we can't have the pearl clutching. We cannot have our precious and modest Lara Croft on display for all to see in this scene. I'm sure that it came down to, I don't feel like doing this, and nobody should care, so it's just a locker room. Let's move on with our lives. It's just... And here's the fucking problem. Like, the actual issue... Oh, they were actually taken out from an update. Yeah, that's interesting. I was going to say, what I think the actual issue here is changing, like, quote-unquote censoring the content of a game that you've already purchased. That, I think, is a different conversation. Right. Like, if something was left... And there's an actual conversation to be had there. There sure is. Of, like, does a game developer have the right, for lack of a better term, to push a mandatory update to a thing you've already purchased that, if you don't install, will make your game unplayable, but will remove content that you have already purchased? Like, is that a precedent we want to set? Probably not, right? Like, there seems to be a very slippery slope there. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, but I feel like this has already happened, where, like, something's been like, oh shit, we left this thing in here that wasn't supposed to be there. Like, we got to patch that out. No, sure, but that's different than this, right? This is and it's blown up out of proportion with this fake
the internet rage, this faux like left wing fucking blah 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 versus right wing gamers, and we want to see tits, and you took the tits out of the game, and like you're going woke and you're going stuff like there's a conversation to be had within that, because you're right, like stuff has gotten patched out, but it's not stuff that was supposed to be in there originally within the content or context of the game. These were like assets that were never meant to be included. That's a different kind of thing.
This is like really confusing though. Like why, I gotta wonder why they went to the trouble of removing them at all. Because they did. It says it's according to this article. It says, however, it's worth noting Crystal Dynamics added a statement to the Trilogy remaster mentioning how it chose not to remove content from the game that didn't align with its values, as it would rather learn from it. The statement says, the games in this collection contain offensive depictions of people and cultures rooted in racism and ethnic prejudices. These stereotypes are deeply harmful, inexcusable, and do not align with our values at Crystal Dynamics. Rather than removing this content, we have chosen to present it here in its original form, unaltered, in the hopes that we may acknowledge its harmful impact and learn from it. So, like, with that being the case, why... Like, I almost wonder if this was some sort of mistake, like, with the update. Like, why would anyone go... They're completely inoffensive, the pictures. Oh, yeah. They're even like, blurry. Like, what about them? Why did they get removed? It's just a very confusing story. But of course, you know, the and again,
unfortunately, it's shitting all over a legitimate topic and a legitimate discussion. This fucking faux clickbait shit. Like, stop it. There's plenty of cosplay websites you can go look at. I'm not saying, again, we have never kink shamed on this show, Chris. If this is a thing you're into, please do it in a healthy, respectful manner. If you're legitimately upset that these posters were taken out because but my sexy girls, that's not the right thing to be angry about.
Yeah, that's not why we're here.
This is not the show for you. Sorry.
Moving on. Because there's only so much time I want to dedicate to this. IGN's reporting, oh boy, Embracer splitting into 3 companies, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I hate these names. The 3 companies are Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends, Coffee Stain.
What they're gonna make.
Nothing but sports games. Coffee Stain and Friends, and Asmodee Group. What is with this and friends nonsense? Stop it. Stop. They're not your friends.
What I really loved is that they were like in their statement to like the gaming press about why this is a good thing. They were like, we're really trying to enhance the valuation for our shareholders. Stop saying the fucking quiet parts out loud. Mm-hmm. Stop it. We know. I know. I get it. Keep that shit a fucking secret. I don't care. The wrestling companies are doing this shit now, too. Where they're like, we have just had the largest gate ever in our company's history. I don't fucking care. Like, oh, you guys made a lot of money? Oh, go us. Like, we're not on Team U. Fuck off. Fucking stupid shit.
Yeah, and like this Embracer fella, the president has been under Lars Wingfors. He's been under quite a lot of fire for this. You know, he's eaten like a little teeny tiny bit of crow, being like, yeah, I probably made some mistakes. Like, you think?
Probably.
You
think? Maybe a couple. Maybe a couple mistakes. You douche.
I'm done talking about that. I'm done talking about Embracer Group and your really, really silly names for your new companies. I hope they make you all the money. Anyway, Time Extension is reporting Parappa the Rapper-esque Saturn game Jung Rhythm gets English fan translation. I've never heard of this game. let's see. Derek Pascarella on Twitter said, "I'm thrilled to announce that the V1.0 release of our English translation patch for Altron Corporation's 1998 game Jung Rhythm on the Sega Saturn. Who's ready for a colorful, bizarre 32-bit song and dance adventure?" This is a fascinatingly weird-looking game that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, like, have you watched the video of this thing? Because it is...
No.
It is it is definitely early that generation visuals. Like, it is so very, like, low polygon, early Saturn looking game. It is weird. But, you know, it's... I thought it was interesting enough to bring up. Like, that's neat. Good on you.
That is neat. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, a young girl named Vanilla Essence who dreams of becoming a famous star and meeting her idol, an eco-conscious musician named Chorking. Fantastic.
That's great.
Love it. Love it. You love to see it. All right. Next up. This one made my head spin a little bit. Nintendo Life reports Atari is reviving the Infogrames publishing label.
Yeah, I don't get it, but
I think it's Infogram,
happy.
not Infogrames. I think it's Infogram.
It's like program. Infogram. Yeah.
I just... Why? You have...
I don't know.
Atari.
It's
right?
Yeah. It's weird. It's objectively a weird thing to bring back.
The response to it online was great. We're like, we're bringing back the beloved label Infogram, and like people are just like, beloved?
Yeah, like what game are you nostalgic for from Infogrames?
Let's see. Atari has announced is reviving the dormant publishing label Infogram, once famous for publishing games such as Hogs of War, Heart of Darkness, Alone in the Dark, and many more.
All right, Alone in the Dark. Like that.
Yeah, but again, like, do
nothing.
I think of Infogrames when... Like, when I think about Alone in the Dark, and I do think about Alone in the Dark.
Again, yeah. Just a ton.
I don't really think about Infogrames.
Yeah. No. Swing and a miss there, boys.
Yeah, I don't... I mean, sure, why not? Go nuts. Like, the new logo looks fine.
Yeah,
nobody wants to say that word out loud.
No,
and when
it's
you
an
are
uncomfortable
Atari,
word to say. Yeah.
Yeah, when you are Atari and you have that as an option, and you say, you know what, let's do this too, I just can't.
Yeah.
It's completely harmless, but at the same time, I just got to look at you and say, what are you doing?
Why? Why are you doing that? Don't
why?
do that.
I mean, maybe the answer is why not, but I ask why. Anyways, Time Extension is reporting the ESA says its members won't support plans for online game preservation libraries. This has been a big thing that's been going with the Video Game History Foundation, trying to get like interactive digital libraries for video game preservation.
Yeah.
Where people can check out games and stuff like that for like educational or research purposes. Yeah. And the
Which
ESA
should totally
is
be a fucking thing.
The ESA is not on board. England adds that, in his opinion, physical buildings housing collections of vintage games aren't the answer. Claims that an online archive with few restrictions would be insufficient progress when it comes to properly preserving video game history. However, during the hearing, other speakers made it clear that something has to be done to make sure game preservation can continue, irrespective of the interests of ESA members and rights holders. Otherwise, gaming history is at risk of being lost forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, I don't see the harm in this.
I
mean, I guess there is an argument. There is an argument to be made that corporations could potentially lose some sales of retro games if they became available to check out from a library. To which I say, boo fucking who.
To which I say, the book industry is doing just fine.
Yeah. Books are.
They still sell them places.
Yeah.
They still people are like, I gotta buy a book. Yeah. Fucking stupid asses.
Yeah, I hope this all gets ironed out. Video Game History Foundation is doing the Lord's work. Keep it up, fellas. Any Hoosers, speaking of weird stuff relating to old video games, Go Nintendo reports Extreme G and Iggy's Wrecking Balls join Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack.
Stop it, Nintendo. Now you're just being dicks. Nobody wanted those.
Well, that's not entirely true. Extreme G has a fan base. Extreme G, I get. Iggy's Wrecking Ball is... Because, Extreme G is one of those things that, when F-Zero X got put up on there was a ton of people saying, oh, bring Extreme G next. Right? Because that game and its sequel... sequels? There was probably multiples of that, but I know at least the first two on N64 have a following. Those are pretty solid games. Sure. Iggy's Wrecking Balls is a weird pick. I don't know much about that game, other than it's got a hell of a title, and it looks hideous, but most N64 games do. Yeah. What is interesting about this is that, so as I'm watching the trailer for these, right, and I'm like, oh, Extreme G. Oh, and they did that thing where they cleaned it up so it runs really smooth. It's I haven't tried it yet, but it's really neat seeing this game run at this kind of a frame rate. Similar to how they literally cleaned up Pilot Wing 64. This game looks really nice. Well, so I say really nice. I mean by N64 game standards. But what I find interesting is that
it still doesn't look good. Let's not.
I'm looking at the box art, right? And the box art has... Because obviously I recognize these boxes, and I'm looking at the throwback. All right, so they took off whatever the logo was of the company that made these and replaced it with throwback. What company made that? So I look over on my shelf and I'm
Infograms.
This was an Acclaim joint. Oh, these were both Acclaim games. Throwback. Why is Throwback striking me as so familiar? So I do a quick little Google search. I'm oh yeah, Throwback is the company that's just been sitting on this shit forever, right? They bought all this stuff from Acclaim, and they sold a handful of it, but they haven't done anything with these games in ages. So the fact that these two games are now on NSO gives me some twisted inner hope that maybe, just maybe, Wizards of Warriors will be back. Maybe they'll throw Wizards of Warriors games on Nintendo Switch Online, because Throwback is the company that has been sitting on that brand and doing nothing with it for decades now. They bought Wizards and Warriors to hold on to in hopes that somebody else will pay them for it. And I really hope Nintendo is that company that says, you know what? I will pay you a nominal fee to put all 3 Wizards and Warriors games, fuck it, all 4 Wizards and Warriors games on Nintendo Switch Online. Throw Fortress of Fear in the Game Boy app too. But yeah, get them all on there. Do it. You got nothing to lose.
It does seem like a weird omission.
Yeah, it is, and it's because this company's had it for ages. I wonder what else Throwback has. What is it? Throwback Entertainment? Just says Throwback. Yeah, Throwback Entertainment. So what games have they been sitting on and hoarding for all this time? Power Slave. Okay, so they seemingly were involved in this Bill and Ted's Excellent Retro Collection. Trick Style is one of theirs. Goodness gracious, I can't find a Vault. You've got a Vault section on here. Tell me Vault has Wizards of Warriors listed on here. And it doesn't. It's got Extreme G, Ricky's Wrecking Balls, Speed Kings, Aggressive Inline. It's a bunch of games. There's the Extreme G stuff, and then a bunch of games that somebody somewhere might care about vaguely. But, I need a list of, I need a list. What do they have? Here we go. Wikipedia will help me out.
There you go.
What are they holding on to here? In 2006, Throwback announced the purchase of the Acclaim Entertainment Library, consisting of over 190 titles, such as Iggy's Wrecking Balls, Extreme G, Gladiator's Sword of Vengeance, Wizards and Warriors, and Vex. Aha. And then here's just a listing of stuff that they've sold off over the years. All-Star Baseball, Trick Style, Legends of Wrestling. So yeah, they just seem to be one of those companies that like, yeah, we'll buy all this stuff so that they're buying them to flip them, basically. Gross.
Yeah, I hate all that shit.
Wizards and Warriors has been languishing in nothingness for eons because of you people.
Yeah.
Let it back out into the world.
I need new Fabio games.
He was only on one of those, and it was still memorable.
It was so fucking good. He looks just like the Sprite.
Yeah, exactly. You know, armor.
Very sexy.
This one isn't really a specific news story. I just thought I would mention it, that in the last week, the internet was also exploding with Stellar Blade discourse. Stellar Blade is that action game with a sexy lady in it, and I don't know, people are real upset about something. I'm not even sure what people are upset about with the game, to be honest. Like, is it too sexy? Is it not sexy enough?
I think both of those things, and apparently there was some censorship in that as well. I mean, do there exist, Kris? And this is something I actually don't know if is the case or not. I know that there are porn games. Are there 3D action games that are just a bunch of fucking naked chicks running around? Is that a thing that exists? Because I think it should.
I mean, if anyone would know, it's you.
That's fair. That's certainly fair. That's why I want those Google glasses. Put my video call on my right eye. I'm watching porn on the left. Because, like, there's obviously a market for it. You know what I mean? And like, I know that there are plenty of porn games that are out there, but I don't think any of them are anything more than, like, pseudo-visual novel style stuff and, like, take pictures and help in the bubble bath kind of things. I'm just curious, you know, like I remember going back to Tomb Raider, that April Fool's joke, the Nude Raider code, you know, like, oh my God, this fucking Nude Raider is so silly.
Dan, I've got breaking news.
Oh my God, what?
Breaking news.
Breaking?
Nintendo Life reports Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered will restore missing posters in patch 3.
Thank God.
The posters were quote unquote inadvertently removed. Thank you, Tomb Raider community, for
everybody's going to post
feedback and support.
Retractions.
Look at that.
Everybody's going to post retractions, and well done for them realizing their mistake, right? Those are going to be all the videos that go up next.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the official quote is, in the recently released patch 2, we made several texture and graphical updates to the HD version. As part of these updates, the posters in Sleeping with the Fishes, The Lost Artifact, were inadvertently removed in the HD version of the game. This has been resolved, and these textures will be restored in patch number 3. Yeah, so I mean, I fully expect all the outrage to be like, "Oh, my bad. Sorry, I accused them of horrid censorship."
That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all those videos. Those are going to be real interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Like, I think those types of games should exist.
I have to imagine they do.
But it's not going to exist on the PlayStation. It's not going to exist on the Switch, and it's not going to exist on the Xbox. Like, it's never going to fucking happen. It's just not. That's okay. They don't need to be there. They should be somewhere else for people who want to access games like that. But
from what I've seen here, one of the things that we're complaining about censorship is like, how do I even explain this? Like, she's wearing a like bikini
well,
bottom
right there
looking
is the
thing
problem.
that's like really it shows some the censored version, quote unquote censored, shows like maybe like 4% less skin. Like instead of it being like an 80s style, like real tight V around the crotch, it's more like regular underwear around the crotch.
Okay.
I mean, clearly this is well worth. I don't even know where to begin on that. There've got to be more important things to jerk off to. This has to be.
Yeah, all right. I'm looking at it. I see it. Yeah, instead of a high-waisted or a high-hip cut, it's now like a mid-hip cut on the like it. And again, here's like you're missing the fucking forest for the trees here, guys. Like
is that actual censorship, or is that just a change that things like I think this would probably appeal to this region's sensibilities better. Like I don't know that censorship's the right word. I mean, I guess if you really want to push the meaning of it, because it is technically covering more of this imaginary character's skin, but like clearly the intent is for this to still be sexy. Like this isn't like, it's not like the atrocity that was putting pants on Wonder Woman, which I don't know, seemed fine to me, but apparently that was a real nasty thing to do. Can't have our superheroes wearing pants after all.
Sorry, I missed like half of that because I got disconnected there for a second.
Ah, weird. Yeah, no, I was just saying it's like, it seems like I don't even remember what I said. Something about Wonder Woman wearing pants, and that was like the end of the fucking world. Because how dare they put pants on the superhero? Like, well, clearly I mean, the intent is still for this character to be sexy. Like, I just think you're really stretching the censorship word here. It's not like they put a robe on her or something like that. It's just
yeah. Well, but like what I was going to say before my internet did whatever the fuck it just did. The forest for the trees argument that people are missing here is whether or not companies should seek to appease people that are not going to buy their fucking games anyway. Like that, and that is a very, very different argument. Like, why are you trying to make a game that will appeal to people not interested in this type of game regardless? You know, that's a different argument. Just complaining about it is not. That's where we fuck. That's why we can never fucking move forward with anything. Is because instead of having the actual conversation, we just fucking yell about things and seem like babies. You know?
I do. And you're right. Because you always are.
I am. I'm very smart, Chris.
And modest. All right, we got two left here.
Sexy.
Nintendo Life reports, this one I'm going to need some help with. Gary's Mod is removing all Nintendo-related stuff from Steam Workshop.
Yep. Nothing.
Have
no idea.
I don't know what Gary's Mod is. I've heard those words together.
Sure. What I do know is that it's something that's been around way long enough at this point that Nintendo should just fuck off. Like, it's not
Gary's
a new thing.
Mod is a physics sandbox. There aren't any predefined aims or goals. We give you the tools and leave you to play. You spawn objects and weld them together to create your own contraptions. Whether that's a car, a rocket, a catapult, or something that doesn't have a name yet, that's up to you. You can do it offline or join the thousands of players who play online each day. Okay. Yeah, this is just one of those things that's like, I mean, you're well within your rights, but since this has been going on for like
20 years,
very long time, why are you bothering?
Yeah. Well, again, this kind of ties into what apparently is the larger theme of the week. like, if Nintendo is going to go in and pressure companies to remove these things that users have created, now whether or not these are asset rips, like, that's a very, very different conversation, right? But are we opening the door to where Nintendo can go after 2K games because there are Mario-themed downloadable characters in the WWE Universe Create-A-Wrestler mode? You know, like, those are obviously misappropriating our intellectual property. Those things have to be removed. Like, that again, there's a slippery slope argument that is worth having. You know?
Yeah, for some reason that strikes me as like, are you creating this out of like an in-game create-a-player thing? Like, I don't know what kind of legal standing they can have within that. Like, you're creating it in the game to use in the game with the game's own tools, and you're not like actually taking Nintendo's assets and creating a Mario or whatever to do weird shit. Like, I don't know. I mean, I imagine someone at Nintendo was just like, I feel like this does damage to our brand, then we should tell them to stop doing it. And I get it. It's just like, kind of seems like, yeah, exactly. It kind of seems like water over the dam at this point. You know, sure, you're within your rights, go nuts, but I don't know. Like, you can.
You can, but you're just engendering a ton of ill will within the community by removing these things. Like,
you gotta wonder if somebody crossed a line. Like, you have to wonder if, like, somebody came up.
Absolutely crossed the line. That's for damn sure. But just remove that bit.
Right.
I mean, you would have to imagine if there are legitimately 20 years worth of content is being removed, there are people who know Nintendo games and characters because of this, not because of Nintendo.
And so their interpretation of what these characters are, or whatever they saw in Gary's mod, which is probably they would rather those people not know them at all, I guess. I don't know. Again, it is weird. Yeah, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just trying to figure out what the logic is, because it's like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, this last story I thought was really cool. This is from Time Extension. Feature, I'd hoped I would become the next Elton John, remembering the vaporware bliss of Tetris CDI. What I found interesting about this is that there's a little disclaimer in the beginning. It says the following article originally appeared on the website Fanbyte back in 2020, but has since been removed as part of an SEO cull. Given it's one of the only interviews we're aware of with composer Jim Andron about his work on Tetris CDI, and considering it's not available elsewhere through the Wayback Machine, we've decided to republish it here with some minor edits so people can learn about how the remarkable soundtrack came to be. So this is neat because there's so many old video game bits of video game journalism from over the years that have been wiped from the internet. From things like SEO culls, which is super disgusting, you know? Like,
yeah.
If you've ever listened to Jeremy Parrish talk about all the work of his from OneUp.com that's just fucking gone now, it sucks that stuff is just, like, not preserved in any way, shape, or form. It's so disposable to these companies. But Tetris on CDI is really interesting. If you have a controller that's usable, it's a really nice version of Tetris with some really great music. I had no idea that anybody had tracked down the freaking composer and did an interview with him, which is really interesting read. Yeah. So good on you, Damian McFerrin and Time Extension, for grabbing this old ass interview and republishing it on your site to hopefully be saved for all time. And if you have a CDI, track down a copy of Tetris. It's pretty darn good. Again, it's not amazing. It's like a really bare bones, basic ass Tetris game, but the soundtrack's pretty good.
Right on.
And that wraps up week old news. That's it from us. And talking about old ass news from a week ago that is not new to you anymore, unless it's new to you because you don't pay attention to the news. That was a hell of a sentence. And I'm going to call it there and say it is time for us to take another break. And when we come back, it's going to be all aboard the Stone Age Gamer Cartoon Express, bitches. Dean will not be joining us because he's doing a engagement party or something. He had some sort of like really easy to predict conflict for tonight, and I don't know why he waited till today to tell us he was coming. So, it's weird. But he's doing some sort of strange wrestling related video game coliseum thing on YouTube. I don't know. Next time he's here, I'm going to let him tell you about it because I don't freaking know. But anyways, we're going to take ourselves another break. You are still listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from geekade.com. Stick around. Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast.
When you hear the words cross-stitch, you probably think of a grandma lovingly making a Christmas stocking, a picture of a lighthouse, or maybe a Bible verse with flowers. But that's not what we do at Shoot the Moon Stitches. We take the old-fashioned art of cross-stitch and pair it with contemporary themes and imagery to create striking works of art that make the perfect gift for anyone who grew up with the internet and has a wicked sense of humor and an appreciation for pop culture. From cult favorite TV shows and movies, to retro video games, to TikTok trends. If it's made you smile, chances are we've stitched it. You can shop our selection of art and gifts by going to Etsy.com and searching Shoot the Moon Stitches. For all your fun, feminist, fandom fiber art needs, visit Shoot the Moon Stitches.
Vestlord is here, clicking and clanging away on the controller for the entertainment of the public. That's right, the premier cyber sports entertainer is back in league with the Electronic Coliseum, where all the cyber sports entertainment happens. The Vestlord is going on a winning spree of likes unknown to get a shot at the coveted Electronic Coliseum Championship. If you want to see if the Vestlord has what it takes, head on over to the show notes for where to find him, or search Vestlord on Twitch or YouTube. Become a fan of the ECC, back the best, cheer for the Vest. See you there.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
All right, everybody, we are back, and we are back for the Stone Age Gamer Cartoon Express. Once a month, Dan and I will pick a random episode of an old video game-related cartoon and discuss it ad nauseum here on our podcast. And this month's episode, for the second month in a row, Sonic the Hedgehog, but not the same Sonic the Hedgehog, because in 1994, there were two concurrent yet unrelated Sonic the Hedgehog series running at the same time, which is completely insane. We are talking about Sonic the Hedgehog Season 2, Episode 3, No Brainer, originally aired on Saturday, September 24th, 1994. This is the more serious in tone Saturday morning cartoon, I believe, that aired on ABC. And when I say more serious, it's not completely zany, off-the-wall goofball like the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. This is considerably more straightforward, and it is still Jaleel White voicing Sonic the Hedgehog, but
which is weird.
Like Dr. Robotnik is he's still pretty weird looking in a similar
so much
fashion.
Scarier.
He is so much scarier. He is a much more imposing figure that really apparently daydreams about paperweights. He mentioned it more than one time in the episode, that paperweight he's always wanted. I feel like if you need a paperweight, there's a lot of things you can use as a paper. I can't say I've come up with
literally anything.
Yeah, literally anything. But I guess I don't have a lot of papers that need to be weighed down on my desk. So I don't know what kind of paperwork Dr. Robotnik deals with. I imagine that he doesn't deal with much because he's a supervillain, and he probably doesn't keep the best of records. But, whatever. What did you think of this episode?
So I thought this was so much better than the other one.
I agree. Very much agree.
Like, just a better... the animation was much better.
This clearly had either a bigger budget or the same budget for way fewer episodes.
Yeah, like just much, much, much better. I didn't like it still because it like what was weird about it was like everything in the show was way more serious in nature except Sonic.
Right.
Like Sonic was still very similar to the Sonic on the other show, and it was just like a really weird contrast to everything else.
He was a tonal inconsistency, yes.
There you go. Thank you. Yes, a tonal inconsistency. Like the chili dogs, mwah, like then running off to fucking get chili dogs, while like everything else is like kind of dark and serious, and it just really didn't fucking fit. It was really odd.
That was the first note I wrote down, right? So I'm watching the cartoon this morning, and the first note I wrote down, the first thing that made me sit up, pause the show, and rewind, because I was only half paying attention, right? Like, wait a minute. Is he in like a weird sewer? And he just walked up to this rusty-ass vending machine in a sewer that spit out a chili dog, and he just ate it. Like, either he has a cast-iron stomach, or I have a fundamental misunderstanding of chili dogs, because, like, hot dogs themselves, I feel like hot dogs themselves are already in the mystery meat territory, like, it's lips and assholes. Like, it's lips and assholes shaped in a tube, right?
Yeah.
And then you've also got chili on top of it. And chili, I feel like, is one of those, it's kind of a nebulous definition. Like, what exactly is he eating?
Chili.
It was terrifying. I cannot imagine how unbelievably terrifying it would be to get a chili dog out of a rusty vending machine in a sewer.
Yeah. When you put it like that, it doesn't seem like a great idea. It really doesn't.
Why is that there?
When you put it that way.
the concept of a chili dog vending machine is so completely unhinged. But like, of all the places to put one, and he didn't. Did he pay for it? I forget if he put money into it, or he just walk up to this box and was like, "Chili dogs," and here you go.
Give me a fucking chili dog. Yeah, that was weird. That was very strange.
Real mystery.
I did not love the main villain of the piece, Snively or whatever.
Snively, whatever.
Snively.
Yeah, he was awful.
Yeah.
He was just, and not awful in like, a villain that you love to hate. Just like awful as in like, you are not in any way entertaining to watch. You just suck.
Yeah. I did find it somewhat interesting that this episode was very similar to the other episode we watched of Mega Man, of like trying to turn people into robots.
Right. I mean, that's kind of Dr. Similar. Robotnik's thing. That's his general thing.
No, I know, but
it is interesting. It
was almost the exact same plot line of the Mega Man episode. It's very strange.
I like that the bunny character. I recognized that voice straight away. It's the same same woman who voiced Dexter from Dexter's Lab and Chucky from Rugrats. It's like, oh, I know that voice. But like,
I know you.
I didn't watch this show regularly as a kid, but I've seen a couple episodes of it. I remember the comedy one I used to see all the time because that was on before school, and it was like, all right, whatever. This is better than nothing. But
it's better than the news.
It's better than a blank screen. But this one was on Saturday mornings, and I think there was other stuff that I was doing or watching on Saturday mornings, and I just never really spent much time with this show. But I don't remember that fucking dragon character at all.
No.
Like, I remember Sally.
This is the one that's
Anton.
referred to as Sat M, right? This is Sonic Sat M for Saturday morning.
Is that a thing? Oh, God. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
In the different Sonic fandoms and continuities, I believe this is the one that's referred to as Sat M.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did notice that Snively's computer made the Centipede Atari 2600 sound effects. I recognized those immediately. I was like, that's Centipede for Atari 2600. That is fucking hilarious. That was awesome. Amazing. And Robotnik was more intimidating. And why has he always wanted a paperweight? Like, I feel like you have the means to turn forest animals into robots. I feel like a paperweight shouldn't be one of those things you long for. Just fucking buy one. Or just better yet, just make one.
Or make one.
Kidnap a squirrel and turn it into one. You've got options, Robotnik. What the fuck's going on with you and paperweights?
You could have a bunch of different paperweights depending on your mood.
Seriously, depending on the thickness of the paper.
Honey badger. An aardvark. Platypus. I'd have a platypus.
A robotic aardvark paperweight. That's where it's at. Just what I always wanted. Just like Mommy used to make.
There was the line that Snively delivered in the show that I thought was really fucking funny because it was so dirty. And maybe it was just dirty to me, which means it was definitely just dirty to me. But he said something like, "I'm about to destroy that knothole," or something like that.
I missed that. I'm not going to lie. I fell asleep like 3 times during this episode.
Well, what was the name of their secret base? Was it Knothole?
Oh, God. Was it Knothole?
I think that's what it was.
Not Hill?
No, it definitely wasn't Hill.
No, Not Hole.
It is Not Hole, right?
Yeah, Not Hole Village.
Yeah. He says something like, "I'm about to destroy that knothole or blast that knothole," and I was like, again, this is how I got Tiff to marry me. Like, that was the thought I had to this fucking episode. Like, God damn
man.
It. And I probably just me. Like, usually when people are like, am I the only one? Like, I'm definitely the only one. I get that, but I do like to bring these things to share with everyone. So,
Well, I appreciate it about you, Dan.
By virtue of all of that, I enjoyed this episode way more than the other fucking Sonic one.
Yeah, generally speaking, this was an easier watch. Like, it was less abrasive.
I didn't actively hate this one.
There wasn't a chicken going ha 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 or any of that weird shit. It still was far from perfect.
And
I want to say I watched more of season 1 of this than season 2 because this did seem a little bit more goofy than I remember. But again, it's been a long time since I've watched this.
I mean, I have now watched way more of season 2 than I have of season 1 of this show. So I unfortunately do not have anything to compare it to.
Huh.
Yeah. This wasn't terrible. I didn't love it.
I agree.
But this one, I could see how people back in the day were like, this is a pretty enjoyable Sonic cartoon that I will sit down and watch.
Yeah, especially by comparison.
Yeah, the other one was as bad as the Bubsy pilot. Like, it was that
We're
bad.
watching that, like, complete nonsense, and then you get to this one on Saturday mornings. It's like, all right. So there is a story to tell here. There is something that we could do here. I'm
Chuck
curious
with
how
the mustache robot with a mustache is always a weird choice. Not an unwelcome one, but a weird choice.
You're talking about the old hedgehog that was like the old...
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like characters on here that I did not recognize at all. Like that weird dragon.
The weird dragon.
And that
old
the old robotic Sonic. That was like really strange to me. I just feel like there's lore that I'm missing there. Like I remember the few episodes I had seen of season 1 were pretty easy to wrap my head around. But I can't say enough that like the art direction here was so much better than the other show. Robotnik still looks so much weirder than he has to, but he was definitely more intimidating. It's all about the cape, but he's still kind of a weird looking dude. The weird,
I mean,
black
it's a weird
and red
character
eyes.
design.
He is a weird character design.
Like, and I like that I like what Jim Carrey did with it in the Sonic movies. As far as like humanizing that ridiculous character design, I think Jim Carrey was just being Jim Carrey. But I enjoy Jim Carrey, I appreciate though that in the cartoon they tried to keep the somewhat monstrous and grotesque nature of Dr. Robotnik. But this one he was way scared. Like they kept him much more monstrous and grotesque as opposed to monstrous and hilarious.
Right. Because like the very nature of what Robotnik does, and this is something that they did in the comic books that I liked a lot.
Yeah.
Because I loved that
It's
Mega Man
horrifying.
comic book. Right. His whole thing. The Mega Man comic book was great, and that Archie did. And when they did the Sonic crossovers, there was this one point, like the whole thing was like, what if Dr. Wily and Dr. Robotnik teamed up? And there was this one point where Dr. Light just kind of really got in the way of their plans. And so Dr. Robotnik just basically attempted to murder him. It was just like, all right, well, I'm just going to push him out of this thing. And Dr. Wily's just like, did you fucking kill him? I didn't want him dead. I wanted him humiliated. You're insane. And like,
you're a fucking psychopath.
That was like the real, like, you could see this. Okay, like this is the degrees of evil here. Like Dr. Wily is an evil lunatic. But, like, Dr. Robotnik is on a very different level because this is the motherfucker who's kidnapping woodland creatures to turn into death robots. Like,
like adorable little bunny rabbits.
That's a different brand of evil right there.
Yeah.
So, turning him into a weird, bumbling goofball villain is just such a strange thing when his core concept is like, you know what? I hate nature. Let's pave the earth and turn all living things into machines that do my bidding. Like, that's some serious evil shit right there.
For real. Yeah, this one was not nearly as offensive. I can see how other people would have liked this one. Still not for me, which is fine. It doesn't have to be. But, yeah. We're not watching a Sonic cartoon next month.
Yeah, if that comes up in the rotation, I'm just going to skip to the next thing. 2 months in a row of Sonic is enough. Let's see what we've got here in the SAG Cartoon Express talking about this. Duroc Pig was our only actual feedback we got out of this in the Discord. Says, I remember liking this series and being interested with how the tone was so vastly different. I still remember not liking Snively at all as a character, or Snively, whatever you say. But then again, I guess that was the point. Also, watching these two Sonic shows side by side, I find it fascinating that the Sonic is the same, but Robotnik is so vastly different between the two shows. Far less cake in this one, as Dean so elegantly put it. Also, it's great having Dean back, y'all. Sorry Dean wasn't here this time. Blame him. Next time he's on, give him all the shit in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not say, I mean, great having Dean back. I like Dean, but like, pump the fucking brakes.
Oh, boy. All right, well, I guess that means it's time for us to pick our next one. Let me get to our playlist here. Cartoon Express, here we are. Time to hit the old shuffle button. Where are we going to land? It landed on another Sonic episode. No, doing it again.
No, it didn't.
Oh, no, boy, it didn't. Okay. There it is. All right, so the next episode is The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, Season 1, Episode 12, Misadventure of Mighty Plumber.
Okay.
It's apparently only 11 minutes long. These episodes were short. All right, so there you go. There's your homework. The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, Season 1, Episode 12, Misadventure of Mighty Plumber. If you need help tracking down the episode, let us know. Reach out to us on our various forums and formats and such, and we can help you out in finding a way to watch the episode. And that is it for us tonight. That is our show. Join us next time for the Alphabet Super Series. As a reminder, for the letter M, we will be discussing the Game Boy Color classic that everyone knows, including me, Montezuma's Return. Look, I like this game, all right? I like this game. I'm very curious what everyone else is going to think of it. If anybody else actually plays it. At least you have to. We are on most social media platforms. You have to. Me. I do know you. You're just going to watch a YouTube video of it and be like, oh, yeah, I played it. Except you're not going to find a YouTube video because nobody fucking knows this.
How dare you? How dare you? You prick.
It's no Echo the Dolphin, but I think you'll like it.
Well, I mean, few things thankfully are.
Yeah. All right, we're on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep this show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making the show listenable for all you folks, and would like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That's it, everybody. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.